I'm not going to play some slow, uplifting musical piece in order to induce some orchestrated emotional response. I want you to have your own experience and thoughts as long as they are genuine. These are some of my thoughts and my feelings, so take them in and most importantly, think for yourself. You are an individual. You are your own person. You are unique. There is no one exactly like you. Be the individual that you are. For instance, if you're into religion, read every religious text you can get your hands on and come up with your own ideas instead of reading one book and saying, I believe what they believe. This kind of thinking is very closed-minded and one-dimensional. It's a cop-out. This I'm right, you're wrong mentality is very egotistical. The mantra of every major religion is one of selflessness. Many of us have forgotten this fact or never knew it in the first place. Religious fundamentalism is and always has been the scourge of our society because of egotistical and selfish thinking. Once we put ourselves in a box, put a label on that box, and start making picket signs, we lost the whole point of why we probably decided to adopt a religion of our own in the first place. We can find fundamentalist ideology in many other areas than religion. For example, many recovering addicts believe that NA principles are the be-all and end-all of how to recover from addiction. NA is a helpful program for many people, but it's certainly not the be-all and end-all, and it's certainly not very effective. I've heard that upward to 90% of people do not get clean from NA or rehab. If that is the case, then that is obviously not a very good working model. NA tells us we are powerless over our addiction. Well, I'm here to tell you, there are people who have gotten clean from addiction by manifesting their addiction to be powerless over them. I know people who have done this. In other words, if we aren't creative or ambitious enough to come up with some of our own ideas, then we become part of the problem. We have then put a halt in our very own personal development, and that really shows we have little regard for the development and growth for the rest of society as a whole. Don't become stagnant. Be ever changing and ever evolving, just like nature intends you to be. I say this, evolve. And I'll end this with a quote from the late and great and powerful Timothy Leary. Think for yourself and question authority.